Alright, so today I have another video related to Squid Games, and this one I feel like would be pretty interesting. For those of you who did not know, I am Korean American. I mean, you could probably generally tell what kind of person I am based on my videos. In terms of Squid Game content I see on the internet, it's mostly American. Well, I'm assuming it's American because it's all in English. I know this is a very stupid, toxic trait that Americans have, but if I see English on the internet, I'm just gonna assume they're American. Like, sorry, but also it is what it is. And my subscribers as well, YouTube tells me that y'all are mostly American, but there's some UK and Canada mixed in there as well. The point is, it's mostly Western stuff. You know what? Just for the sake of inclusivity, I might just use the word international. But just know that my perspective will have some American biases. Anyways, yeah, for me, I also see Korean content related to Squid Games as well, the OG source. And it's actually incredible how different the reactions to Squid Game are. So yeah, I wanted to make a video kind of showcasing what I've been seeing. I'm not saying this video is the objective truth, like I'm sure there are different reactions from Korean fans and international fans, but I'm just showing you guys the general sense of what my feed looks like, what I have personally been seeing, which is basically the objective truth because I only speak factuals. Nah, I'm playing. But anyways, I'm gonna simply divide this video into similarities and differences between Korean and international reactions to Squid Game that I have noticed. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so one of the biggest aspects of the show that both Koreans and international fans agree on is regarding this motherfucker Jun Ho's character. We all know this, but people are very disappointed in Jun Ho's character because he basically took 2 full seasons to reach the island, and he spent like a minute worth of screen time just to ask his brother why. Due to this reason, many people have started calling him Dora the Explorer or Juno the Explorer. Similarly, Koreans have also expressed identical concerns, saying how useless and pathetic his character was. In Korea, they pretty much call Juno and his search squad 도시어부, which in English translation is like city fisherman or some shit. It's basically a TV program where these Korean entertainers go out and catch fish. I haven't watched it, but literally every single Korean comments are like, this motherfucker just filmed an episode of The City and the Fisherman and called it a day. Let me showcase some of the comments that I found. Alright, so this video titled Why Jun Ho is the most useless character in Squid Game. Let's read some of these comments. Yeah, bro found the island so late the main character himself died. Bro finding that island for 3 years just to say why to his brother. If Jun Ho showed Kyun a picture of, like, this is my fucking brother, you know this motherfucker, then maybe, but I don't know. That's why I call him 007, 0 people saved, 0 people arrested, 7 islands wrong. Jun Ho was not wrong when he said Korean police are slow. He did nothing other than being handsome, which is fucking facts. Plays Dora the Explorer for 2 freaking seasons. Yeah, so basically, everyone thinks this character was absolutely useless. Let's check out another video. Alright, so this is the official Netflix K content channel. Yeah, bro took 3 whole seasons just to ask the same thing he asked in season 1. Juno the Explorer. He left Juno unread. Yeah, handsome Juno the Explorer. And it seems like the rest of these are just kind of bot comments. But anyway, yeah. Bottom line is, the response to this character was not great. Alright, let's take a look at this guy's video. This guy, he's like a pretty... this guy, I don't know much about him, but I'm pretty sure he's like a magician who's also like a streamer, kind of. But anyway, he's reviewing this thread about Squid Game 3 over here. Let's take a look. So the caption on the screen is basically saying, oh, I thought about it, and this is basically the goat of incompetence slash being useless. This comment's like, this motherfucker couldn't even take down Sung Gi-un, so he just fucking, so he just cooperating while he's tied in the bathroom. Shit's fucking hilarious. This comment's basically saying, oh, if this is a reason why he just kept fucking shooting an episode of City and the Fisherman, then writing-wise it kind of makes sense, which is fucking funny as hell. Same thing, Mr. Choi over here solved the entire mystery in 2 days. But this motherfucker Huang dragged this shit for 2 seasons. And those letters at the end is basically the Korean equivalent of like LMAO. But anyways, investigation skills worse than a fucking loan shark. Alright, this comment's basically saying, yeah, the same shit. This motherfucker only appeared in Squid Games just to film an episode of City and the Fisherman. And then that's it, the end. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Yeah, this guy's being really sarcastic. He's like, yo, you guys don't know anything. This guy Jun Ho basically circled around the island for like the entire fucking Squid Games. and then called his brother out once, and then now he gets $45 million. Smartest character in Squid Game. Shit's fucking funny. He filmed an episode of City and the Fisherman and got $45 million. This guy's saying like real shit like this. I have no idea why this motherfucker even came to the show. Even if this character disappears, pretty much nothing happens to the main content of the show. If I was Detective Huang, I would have bootlicked the shit out of my brother once I found out he's the front man. I don't know about that one. Yeah, very hilarious comments. So yeah, the writers did Jun Ho hella dirty. No one fucking likes his character. And for those of you that actually like his character, you are being tranced by his face card, I'm assuming. Anyways, another similarity is the fact that both audiences seem to think Mr. Choi over here is low-key the GOAT of Season 3. So in my tier list video, I put him in S tier because he basically solved damn near everything, like in 2 episodes, whereas Jun Ho took 2 seasons and couldn't accomplish shit. And people in the comments seem to agree that Mr. Choi is extremely underrated as a character, and I literally have not seen anyone not like him. Alright, here is the English version. I swear, I couldn't really find much scenes with him. Like nowadays, the YouTube meta is just all these CapCut edits. But anyways, yeah, let's look at some of these comments. Yeah, this guy solved the case in like 1 or 2 days. Detective couldn't even reach evidence for 3 seasons. Yeah, a lot of Mr. Choi is the GOAT. Siri called Detective Huang Mr. Choi Aura. Yeah, so international fans as well, you know, pretty much everyone likes this character. Same in Korea too. You can see some of these comments saying how he's a fucking genius. Here we have a video captioned, gangster Mr. Choi who has better sense than the detective. So yeah, let's take a look at some of these comments too. A detective who didn't notice shit for 4 years. A loan shark who noticed something was wrong in 4 days. Mr. Choi was the best in Season 3. I only remember Mr. Choi. This comment here says, the only person who was actually smart and loyal in Squid Games. Everyone else was just not normal. Mr. Choi is the GOAT. So yeah, a lot of people like Mr. Choi's character. Another character that the two seem to enjoy a lot is Namgyu. So in Season 2, I've seen very mixed opinions on Namgyu's character. Some people absolutely hated him, and some people, like myself, enjoyed bits of his character. And now that Thanos vanished in Season 3, Namgyu had the spotlight and started to grow on most people. Like, I see so many more Namgyu stans in the comments, and I'm just like, this shit is kinda crazy. Literally every scene with him was trending, like him repeating his name like 40 times on some Namgyu, 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 Namgyu. Like, look at some of this shit.
OMG, they must have been starving. Post-meal nap time with full bellies.
Namgyu, 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 Namgyu.
Him singing Love Scenario by Icon, him copying Thanos, just to name a few. Alright, here we see Netflix's K-content channel. Look at all these comments. Gotta love how unhinged Namgyu was in the 4th game, one of the best parts of the season. Namgyu mimicking Thanos was the only funny part of the whole season. The Thanos energy got passed to him. This is so hilarious seeing Namsu act like Thanos. Yeah, Namgyu. Yeah, same shit. Yeah, I love Namgyu. Dude, like, look at some of these fan accounts are literally just, like, it's just Nojaewon's fan accounts, which is crazy. What the fuck is Thangyu? Thangyu, man. Thangyu. That's funny. Let's take a look at something else. Namsu's acting was insane. Namgyu. Jaewon is such a good actor. Great acting skills. I love No Jaewon's acting. Okay, Namsu, it's okay. We still love you. Yeah, a lot of love. It's very cool, very cool. In terms of Korean comments, let's take a look at some of them. It's funny how not a single one of them call him by his actual name. They all just call him Namsu, which is fucking hilarious. Alright, let's take a look at some of the Namgyu glazing. So yeah, a lot of the comments here love this fucking character. Yeah, very good actor. Very good actor. Nojaewon's acting was crazy. Okay, when they say brutal here, they're not saying the acting's like brutally bad. It's saying how the character's acting's like whew, like it's like very it gives you the chills type shit. Alright, here's another video. This comment saying how it was so funny how he suddenly started singing Love Scenario by Icon out of nowhere. Namgyu copying Thanos is very cute. The content is fucking ass, but Namgyu's acting helped the immersion. Namsu's acting was really good. Dude, look at all these replies. No. Namgyu, 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 Namsu. Yeah, this type of shit is why you watch Squid Game, honestly. Fuck all the content shit. The fucking audience interaction is why you watch Squid Game. Yeah, very funny stuff. In terms of other characters, I've seen mixed opinions here and there, so I'm not going to include the rest in this video. A good example of this would be Myunggi's character. Like, I've seen both Korean and international audiences' opinions on this character, and it's just all over the place, much like his character concept itself. Some people hate that motherfucker, and some people think he's actually one of the best written characters. Either way, I wouldn't say there's a clear similarity / difference from each side. Another case is that I didn't really see enough of them on the internet for me to talk about in detail, compared to the other characters that I talked about earlier. Like, for example, Hyunju. Most people like the character. That's about it. No need to explain further. One of the biggest similarities that I saw was the fact that both Korean and international audiences, in the general sense, thought that Squid Game 3 was just straight up not good, or mid at best. Which I agree as well. I think Season 3 was the weakest out of the three. Many of my subscribers were disappointed as well. Now, this could be for a multitude of reasons. Me personally, it was because some of the characters like Taeho and Jun Ho fell off hella hard. And specifically, episodes 4 and 5 were just not very enjoyable to watch. Some people didn't like it because Ki-hoon died. Some people didn't like it because they didn't get to see their favorite characters longer. Whatever the reason may be, the bottom line is that they just didn't like it. And yeah, in Korea too, these motherfuckers absolutely hate Season 3, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, they all say Squid Game should have ended in Season 1, which I personally disagree. But yeah, let me show you guys some of the comments. Alright, now let's take a look at some of this. So yeah, they're basically saying how much gap there is between Season 1 and Season 3. Saying how there's just no absolute way that Season 3 could be better than Season 1. Alright, so I watched this video, and TLDR, they're saying how none of the characters make any sense compared to Season 1. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Alright, this comment saying how Squid Game 3 is the result of a bunch of agencies, these random ass agencies, asking Squid Games to basically use our actors and actresses. This comment's basically saying Season 1 is just way too goated compared to Season 2 and 3. Season 2 and 3 is like, Season 2 and 3 felt like they started it and then they just kind of stopped. This comment says Season 1 story was perfect. Season 2 and 3 on the other hand, there's no real finished story. The only thing I remember in Season 2 is Gong-yu's acting, the salesman. In Season 3, I only remember Myunggi's acting, Im Si-won, the actor Im Si-won. Alright, so this is just some random streamer I found. So yeah, the title here says her score for Season 3 is 2 out of 5. Let's read some of the comments. This comment saying, because it was Squid Games, this gained some interest. If it was just some other drama, then no one would have gave a fuck. This comment saying, it's amazing how you even finished it. Real shit. This comment saying, this is the most obnoxious and ridiculous content in the history of Korean dramas. 2 out of 5. This comment saying 2 out of 5. I wouldn't even have given a 2 out of 10. This comment saying, I get angry every time I see Ocean now. That shit's fucking funny. Yeah, so the bottom line is, a lot of people in Korea do not fuck with Squid Game 3. But yeah, that's pretty much some of the key similarities that I have seen. Now let's move on to the juicy part, the differences. Alright, now this part is kind of the reason why I was inspired to make this whole video. If I'm gonna be honest, I only included the similarities part just to extend the video length and follow the theme of similarities and differences, but this is where things are a bit more interesting. So one of the biggest differences that I've seen is regarding Noor and Player 246 arc in Season 3. Now, me personally, I enjoy Noor's character in Season 3 because it was cool and it was a lot more developed compared to Season 2. Player 246, I don't know about him, he just kind of didn't do shit. But it seems that most international fans appreciated both their characters and their arcs. Let's read some of the comments. Alright, here we see Noor's scenes. Finally something good in Season 3 regarding Noor and Player 246's arc. Guard 11 has the heart of gold. The only good thing in Season 3. Player 246 was my favorite character in Season 2. Okay, anyways, see some of these other stuff. Alright, Noor saves Kyung-suk. Let's read some of these comments. 246 true winner. Happy life with his healed daughter. I'm happy that he's alive. I mean, yeah, it looks like people don't really have a problem with him. I don't know. Pretty calm comment section here. Korea, on the other hand, don't fuck with these two motherfuckers at all. The gist is, these two didn't add anything to the story and could be pretty much skipped in its entirety, and the main story will remain the same. I could see where they're coming from, but again, I appreciated Noah's character a lot in Season 3. Like, it was just cool, even though it had nothing to do with the main narrative. In terms of player 246, a lot of Koreans were unhappy with how they wasted such a talented actor, Lee Jin-wook, by having him play one of the most useless characters in Squid Game 3. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Alright, let's take a look at some of this. The title of this video is a character where I have no idea why they even came out in Season 3. This comment saying if you really take a look at what he did, there's pretty much nothing. He participates in the games to get surgery fees for his daughter. He gets convinced by Ki-hoon and then joins the revolt in Season 2. And then the North Korean girls, Guard 011, saves him and then he escapes. And this person says his kid would have survived even if he didn't participate in the games. This comment says, why the fuck did he join the games leaving his sick daughter? His whole concept is just fucking stupid. This comment says, the real mystery is that even though this motherfucker didn't get any prize money, his daughter just becomes completely healed in 6 months, and then there's no any scenes of him like actually struggling with money either. And then the reply to that is, maybe this motherfucker really just wanted to play some games. Alright, this captions some like, oh, look at this fucking drawing. And then the comment said, this is why he doesn't have any money. This is so fucking funny, it's actually insane. Let's take a look at some of the comments. This top comment says, Squid Game 2 is like you took a shit and then like halfway through it stopped. And in Squid Game 3 you basically finish taking a shit. Alright, this second comment basically says this is a scenario with absolutely no introduction, no development, no like rising action, no climax, no conclusion, nothing. Alright, this comment says there's just too many characters with no roles and too much screen time. So yeah, people are not fans of this whole arc. Alright, this is a video where at the end Noah goes and meets player 246 for the last time. Dude, these comments are fucking hilarious, bro. This comment says, I can't believe they used him like that. Him as in player 246 actor Lee Jin-wook. So yeah, Lee Jin-wook is like a pretty big actor in Korea, and then he basically like did nothing in Season 3, which I understand their disappointment. This comment says, these two and the detective I skipped while watching. Yeah, and then all the replies are like, why the fuck did they put him in? It has nothing to do with the main plot. Yeah, me too. This comment says, I have no idea why these two were even in the show. So yeah, people think this plot was just absolutely useless. Another key difference that I saw is regarding player 100. Now, from what I know, almost everyone fucking hates this motherfucker because he's just annoying as hell, which is understandable. His character concept wasn't too impressive either in my opinion, like it's just a generic rich evil unk. The character of player 100 itself is not liked by many. Alright, player 100's death. Let's see some of the comments. Yeah, that's what you get for pushing to continue the games. Best part of Season 3. Good. I hate how he got to the final. You know the acting was perfect when you cheer the character's death. How did this old man survive jumping like 50 times? His death is by far one of the most satisfying. This is one of the scenes that satisfy me the most. I've wanted player 100 to die. Annoying, unbearable old man. The most happy death in Squid Game. Yeah, finally he's gone. The best scene of the entire series. However, in Korea, this shit is actually crazy because there's a lot of people that actually like his character. The general idea is that many people like him because apparently everything he says in the show are all facts, whether you like it or not. I mean, in the logical sense, maybe, but this character lacks any empathy and humanity for him to be even considered human. But let's take a look at some of the comments. Alright, let's take a look at this video. This video is like, basically this unk right here is getting re-evaluated. Yeah, many people seem to actually kind of like him. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Alright, this first comment is player 100 is, by the way, this is, I know it says 100 here, but that doesn't mean player 100. It's the amount of money he owes. But anyway, player 100 is the villain who interferes with Sung Gi-hoon, the main character. Nope. Sung Gi-hoon, Gi-hoon is the villain that's interfering with player 100. His expressions are too cute when he's doing the jump ropes. This guy says in the end, he only wants to take care of his debt, and then the rest of the money he wants to share. Player 100, the GOAT. This seems that one scene where they're in the lobby and then the soldiers are like, alright, the baby is the new player, 222, and the baby will be eligible to get the money. And then they start fucking fuming. And the title of this video is The 6 Villains Who Only Say the Right Things. Or like whatever they're saying is correct basically. Yeah, and the top comment, the grandpa's logic is correct. The baby has no ability to decide for anything. And if the others died, the money is not going to be inherited to their families. So yeah, that shit's kind of stupid. To be honest, these 6 are not even villains. Ki-hoon is the real villain. Yeah. This comment saying they're all greedy, but what they're saying is right. Alright, this video is titled Squid Game 3, the character who is like unexpectedly likable. And yeah, obviously they're talking about player 100. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Money aside, his entire behavior is just different. It's just another level, basically. Player 100, everything he's saying is right, but because of fucking Ki-hoon, Ki-hoon should have been the lunchbox. I thought he was a villain at first, but he's a plot twist character, a pacifist character even. A character way more logical and more persuasive than Ki-hoon. This video is basically titled Squid Game 3, Player 100's insane like abilities. And again, this isn't saying player 100 is the amount of money that he owes. They say at the beginning of Squid Game 2 it's like $10 million or some shit. I don't know the exact amount in Korean wons, but anyway. The top comment here says people like him are real businessmen, you know. They're actually really smart. This comment saying, oh, player 100, he's so cute. So yeah, these are some of the things that I've seen regarding player 100. A lot of people seem to like him in Korea. And the biggest difference that I have seen between the two is regarding Ki-hoon's character as a whole. And let me tell you, this shit is fascinating. Basically, to summarize, America/foreign audiences generally seem to care for Ki-hoon. They love Ki-hoon and his sacrifice for the baby. They have been attached to him for 3 long seasons, and it's sad that he eventually dies. Some would even call him a hero. Let's see here. Alright, so in terms of Ki-hoon in America, or not America, but like international or whatever, here's a bunch of edit channels. Yeah, we are not horses, we are humans, words of a hero. We are not, that line will be never forgotten. Born as a beggar, survived as a hero, died a legend. Words of a legend. He cared about the baby more than his own dad. He didn't deserve to die. Justice for Ki-hoon, he's a hero. Legends never die. Born poor, became a hero, died as a legend. Yeah, all the English comments, they love Ki-hoon. I wouldn't really say he's a hero. I mean, I did respect his suicide at the end. I mean, he tried his best. That's what matters, right? He tried his best. Alright, another edit. He lost all his smile in this. Squid Game taught us a great lesson. I miss Ki-hoon, why he was kind. I never thought I would hear 456 eliminated. Sad. Player 100 eliminated was the best thing I heard, but player 456 eliminated was something I wasn't ready for. We are not horses, we are human, Ki-hoon's last words. Let's take a look at another edit. The fact that season 2 was all memes and season 3 is serious is pretty insane. Perfect conclusion, Ki-hoon's final act wasn't a rejection of the game, it was a rejection of philosophy that created it. The frontman believed that humans are inherently selfish, driven by survival. I ain't reading all this, but basically, yeah, people like Ki-hoon. Honestly, I think the ending's perfect. Ki-hoon didn't just survive, he proved something deeper. Frontman believed... Dude, what? Are this the same fucking comment? Anyways. The fact is, the VIPs didn't even laugh, they stayed silent, showing how touched their hearts are seeing player 450... Ah, fuck! I can't even fucking speak right now, but player 456 sacrificed himself for the baby. Yeah, a lot of love for Ki-hoon. Koreans, on the other hand, absolutely fucking despise this motherfucker, and it's actually fucking hilarious. In summary, they hate him because he's basically a hypocrite who says he's all about justice and fairness, but every action he takes contradicts his beliefs, basically. Let's take a look at some of the stuff. Alright, so this is the scene where this motherfucker player 96 griefs everyone by pushing everyone off the jump rope platform. So yeah, pretty fucked up shit, but apparently he's actually like being praised for this action because it's actually really smart or something. Alright, let's look at some of these comments. Ki-hoon should have just left him to kill everyone, and then at the end, pushed him off, and then through that he'll win twice. But Ki-hoon's fucking stupid, dude. Honestly, that's not the point though. But whatever. All right, Ki-hoon is the real villain. Just take the money and live happily ever after. The fuck is he doing all this nonsense and fucking doing all these revolutions and killing people? This guy's saying, yeah, all you have to do is push all these motherfuckers off, but because of his stupid ass beliefs, he does all this bullshit. But also, he kills off Taeho super easily. This comment too, they're like, oh, when I was watching this, I was thinking exactly like this. Why can't you just push everyone off and get first place again? Dude, these guys are like thinking this is some fucking Fortnite battle royale where you actually have to fucking win this shit. So basically, he couldn't even protect himself. He couldn't protect the others. The only thing he protected was just one random ass baby. Yeah, people really do not fuck with Ki-hoon's character. Alright, this scene is when they're doing the lunchbox method. So yeah, the lunchbox method was low-key fucked up. But yeah, let's see what they're saying. Alright, this top comment saying, when Minsu was getting killed, this motherfucker was silent. But it's when it's his turn, he does all this fairness bullshit. Alright, Ki-hoon wants to play fair, but excludes the kid. Isn't that unfair already? Dude, what kind of comment is this? Bro, it's a fucking kid, man. It's a newborn kid. Excluding the baby is not fair either when they're drawing the lots. Dude, this is crazy. The ultimate villain, Ki-hoon. Man, every time I see Ki-hoon, I want him to be eliminated so badly. Dude, dude, they fucking hate Ki-hoon, man. Alright, this video I wanted to show you guys. This is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Alright, this video is a joke, but they're basically revealing Ki-hoon's true nature. So let's play this. Alright, so this first caption saying, Ki-hoon was clearly someone who entered the games to save people and end the Squid Games. But they're saying Ki-hoon's capping. Ki-hoon's real identity is that he's addicted to murdering people in the games. Here they say, in reality, in the real world, there is nothing as exciting as Squid Games. So he was probably hella bored. So he creates a fake reason of he wants to save people or he wants to end the games and try to find the salesman. So he re-entered the Squid Games and thought he was the king or some shit when he was fucking directing everyone in the red light, green light. And then his dopamine starts to fucking boost again. Ki-hoon never wanted to end these fun games. So he thinks of a way to eliminate all the X people. So in season 2, when the circle people were killing the X people, he didn't do anything. And he convinced everyone to participate in his revolution and ended up killing everyone. This was his ultimate strategy to stop people from voting to end the games. But when player 96 was blocking everyone in the jump rope game, so Ki-hoon just kills him himself. Or even in the end, Ki-hoon, who's now fucking dopamine maxed, he rejects player 100's lunchbox plan because he wants to keep playing the games. And he actually maxed his dopamine by killing player 333. Dude, this shit is so fucking funny. It's actually insane. Look at these comments. Dude, they're all saying, yeah, this makes sense. Now Ki-hoon's behavior is all justified. This shit, this makes sense. If you see Ki-hoon in season 1 when he was betting on horses, this all makes sense. Dude. Bruh. He even completes skydiving so he can dopamine max. Dude, this is fucking funny as shit. So they all really fucking hate Ki-hoon, which is just absolutely hilarious. Now, I kind of get where they're coming from as well, but in my opinion, some of these comments are to a point where they genuinely think the point of Squid Games as a show is to actually win that money instead of reflecting about humanity. Like, this isn't Alice in Borderland, where you genuinely want the characters to solve the game and come out alive. I feel like you should feel very conflicted when it comes to Squid Games. Obviously, yeah, if you're in a life or death situation, most people would probably say fuck morals, I'ma survive. But I feel like the director is challenging us to think beyond just that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about and show you guys, if you care, that is. I think this will be the last Squid Game content I'll make. Some people suggested ranking the games and the characters' deaths, but I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see those videos though. Otherwise, I'm probably going to prep for the next character tier list video, whenever that may be. Thank you for watching, like and sub maybe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.